I've been provoked this week and I've been groaning this week because I need a fresh outpouring of the Spirit of God on my life. I have desperate need for an outpouring of the Spirit of God. I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. Blessed are the hungry, blessed are the thirsty, because they will be filled. Blessed are the poor in spirit. You know what it means to be poor in spirit? It means you know your need. It means you're needy. It means you realize that you don't have what you need. And I've been groaning inwardly, saying, God, this is not right. It's not right that for 2,000 years, there's rarely been a faithful witness of Jesus in the earth. It's been rare. It's been a rare occurrence. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about John 14:12. Those who believe in me will do the works that I did and even greater works because I go to the Father. He has went to the Father. He's ascended to the right hand, and He's left us here to carry on the same kind of ministry. I think we need a fresh filling of the Spirit of God. I think we are desperately in need. You know, whenever the Spirit of God comes on our lives, we begin to walk in these things. The gift of the word of knowledge, the word of wisdom, discerning of spirits, prophecy, gifts of faith, healing, the working of miracles, different kinds of tongues, the interpretation of tongues. This is 1 Corinthians 14. You know, it says at the beginning of that passage that these gifts are given for the benefit of all. What that means is that the world needs us to walk in these things. That the world will greatly benefit from believers who are walking in the gift of the working of miracles. I mean, does the world need believers who are walking in that gift? The working of miracles. I think the world desperately needs for the church to have an outpouring of the Spirit of God. The world needs the church to have revival. I don't know about you guys, I actually do, but I'm just saying that I don't to make you feel better. I don't know about you guys, but I still have some issues in my life. Issues. The Bible calls them sin, I'll just call them issues. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever heard Rick say, you know, most of us have a few hundred things still wrong with us. The devil's strategy is to get us to focus on all of them at once, but God's strategy is to walk us through the thing that it's time for us to get delivered of, or you know what I'm saying. The issues in my life, I can't think of one that would not be immediately solved, immediately overcome, if I had the full measure of the manifestation of the fruit of the Spirit in my life. I mean, can you think of an issue in your life that would not be overcome if you had a greater measure of love, peace, joy, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control? Can you think of a single issue in your life that wouldn't be immediately overcome by an outpouring of the Spirit and an outworking, an outgrowth of the fruit of the Spirit in your life? We desperately need to be filled with the Spirit again. We need the power of the Spirit to come on our lives again. We need the kingdom to come in our lives. The kingdom is not in eating and drinking. It's righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. We need that kingdom reality to come in our lives. Jesus said these things about the Spirit. He said, the Spirit is the helper. He said the Spirit is the comforter in other translations. The word there is the paraclete. He says Jesus said the Spirit is the paraclete. Now the paraclete was a defense attorney in ancient times, but he was specifically a defense attorney that was assigned to your family to come to your side, to come to your defense anytime trouble came up in your family. He was like conscripted to be assigned to your family. So when trouble came, when tribulation came, when persecution came, when accusation came, your paraclete would come and would be your defender, would be your help. And Jesus said, I've given you the Spirit as your paraclete. Now, the King James version says that the Spirit is our comforter there instead of our helper. And I think that's probably even more accurate than helper. But the word comforter doesn't mean in our day what it meant just a few hundred years ago. You know, in our day now, I hear the word comfort, I think of like a warm, like grandmother that's going to hold me and kind of snuggle me. That's what I think of with comfort. But just a few hundred years ago, the word comfort, it comes from the words cum forte, the Latin cum forte, which means with strength. You've heard the words like that's not my forte, or a piano is actually called a piano forte. You can strike, you know, with more strength or less strength to change the sound. Forte means strength. And so what Jesus is saying is that the Spirit of God, in the midst of trouble, in the midst of tribulation, in the midst of difficulty, He is the one who comes cum forte, with strength, with power, to be your defense, to be the one who stands for you and fights for you and overthrows your enemies. Jesus said, the Spirit will lead you into all truth. He said, the Spirit will teach you all things and bring to remembrance everything that I said. He actually said, it's better for you that I go away, that I ascend to the right hand of the Father. It's better for you that I go away than for me to stay, because it's better for the Spirit of God to walk with you than for me to walk with you personally. That's a tremendous statement, considering that Jesus interrupted funerals everywhere that He went. I mean, considering that Jesus could stand in front of a person and have a conversation with them, and the Gospels say these phrases like, and Jesus, knowing their thoughts, answered them and said, how much would that freak you out to have a conversation with Jesus and all of a sudden He starts reading your mind and speaking your thoughts back to you? I mean, Jesus walked in a level of supernatural that was just beyond we can even imagine. And He said, the Spirit coming is better for you. It's better for you. And so what I think is that in my own life, I'm not walking in the fullness of the measure of the Spirit. You know, I have family members that need deliverance. Does anybody else? Does anybody have family members that are just bound up? Family members that are sick? I have family members that are not walking with God. They're running away from God. I need the power of God to come on my life so that whenever I speak with such authority that it breaks demonic strongholds, that it awakens the sleeper, that it shines light into darkness, and that it sets the captive free. I need a fresh filling of the Spirit of God.